morning, guys. Welcome back to another day on the engine. Just to be so different than the last 3 weeks now, 2 weeks. It's taking a bit longer than I expected, but honestly, the work is so good. I really enjoy my days on this engine right here. So here we go. Yesterday, we installed the cylinder head. We did install some fake spring to measure something today, the push rod length. And with all that, we're getting pretty close to what should be pretty much the end of the pre-assembly process. The big step left being basically the piston ring gapping process, but otherwise we're pretty much getting there. One thing I did realize, I was about to call the shims for the valve spring last night. I decided to wait because we might have to change the push rod we ordered in the first place, just because the length might not be what we really want for that. So yeah, we're gonna see how it's going this morning, and probably during lunchtime I'm gonna be able to order everything we are in need for that engine. That being said, during the beginning of the stream, the intro, I was looking over here to the parts we have left. So we have less and less boxes around here, and that's pretty cool. The one thing that's not that cool is that I haven't found what I need to upgrade the Tronian part of. Oh, is it that? Maybe it is. No, that's the push rod. I feel like I had that in my hand at one point. I really need to check again, because basically I'm supposed to have a kit, and maybe I forgot to order it, maybe not, I'm not sure, but I'm supposed to have a kit to upgrade the center part of what we're going to use this morning, the rocker. So if you want to see one, this is what I'm talking about. This is in the non-soakable parts of the engine, but this part here, this is the pivot point I was talking to you yesterday. That's gonna be activating the valve on this side, because it's getting pushed by a push rod on that side. And basically these have bearings on both sides here, which we call the tronion, that circle part here, and it's allowing that movement to happen basically. However, the bearings in them are subject to fail. They are what they call the needle bearing. So it's all small cylinder all the way around, making some needle that it can rolls onto, so it gets activated multiple times a minute. But we can upgrade those with bronze bushing, which will be solid, bronze bearing, which will be a solid bearing, so just a bronze singular piece of metal that goes in there and will allow low friction rotation on that. So this is the idea here. We need to clean all these, but for now, the idea will be to just pretty much clean them all and upgrade the center bushing, the center bearing, I should say, in there. Like I said, I was pretty sure I had the kit. I kind of remember having the kit in my hand, I think, but I can't find it, so I guess not. That's one of those weird moments. Maybe I just remember the picture of the kit and that's it. I need to take a look in my orders. Yeah, because basically I've looked a little bit before going live and I can't remember, but now I will just search with bronze as a keyword. If I get anything there. Bronze. Nope. Nope. So far, it's not looking good. And on Summit Racing, I had absolutely nothing related to that. So I would say that I might not have ordered those things. Order in status. Let me check quickly. Up to when are you going back? That's been a while, so I don't think your order isn't all available. Yeah, no. I don't think I've ordered those. All right, well, we're gonna have to, I guess, order that. That wasn't part of the plan. But yeah, so basically, let's keep going this morning. I don't think that's going to be a big matter for now. Pretty much like everything I see here, except if it's in something like this, but I don't think it is. That's the dampener. So all that can be combined. Or actually, I should do that, and that. Keep that there. This is the piston rings. Otherwise, we don't have anything left in those. So yeah, I don't know why I have the feeling I had that kit in my hand at some point. I'm gonna have to make sure it's not over there on the bench. That's gonna be probably a thing for lunchtime, cause yeah, I just feel like I'm supposed to have it, but I can't find any trace of me buying it, so that's not a good sign usually. But yeah, I just feel like I had them in my hand at some point. Whatever. So let's just keep going at this point. This morning, what we're going to start looking at is the valve train measurement. So we installed the helper spring, dual side. So as you can see here, basically we have two springs installed in the cylinder head. This allows me to activate the valve, but without a lot of difficulties. So this can get activated right there. And what we're going to look for this morning is what is the length of the push rod that we need to activate the pivot on that. So it shouldn't be too hard to install. So we're just going to move forward and see what is left in here. So we are step 31 and it says insert push rod length checker for the intake and exhaust valve of cylinder 1. I need two of I don't have two of them, I have just one, so it's gonna be one at a time. On most LS engine, the rocker pivot support are not a machine part of the head. In this case, lay the rocker stand in place. Oh, okay, yeah. And toward the other end, okay. So basically, I'm gonna need to bring my little box here. And I think it's gonna be a good morning to use for the first time the tray in here. So I have a tray especially for those kind of things. I'm gonna bring that. We're kind of lacking a bit of space on top of the workbench, but that's gonna be part of the fun, I guess. So let's do this, that. Let's put that away over here. I'm still looking for those bushing. It bothers me not to find them. And there we go. So from here, I'm gonna go and grab my box of stuff I left in there. This is all from the original engine. And I'm gonna put that down here. We still have something left in there, shouldn't be. Oh yeah, spacers. So keep that there. All right, so driver's side. I was smart enough to identify that in my past, so let's just go around here. So driver's side should be like that. So pretty much everything's gonna go back to its actual place. All right, let's clean that a little bit. So front cam. So this is the part we need to install now. Basically what that does is just sitting on top of the head. There's a casting for that in the head, and this is where the pivot point is going to be starting. It's just like laying down on top there. I'm gonna put some gloves actually this morning. What a good idea. I'm already getting all messed up there. Yep, before ordering, I'm really going to check all around here, but I feel like I really didn't order those, and that's a bummer, to be fair, because they can take quite a while to arrive. Or I'm gonna order the Summit Racing one. They are a bit more pricey, but I feel like they're going to do the job, and at this point I'm not looking for $50 more or less on this engine, so might as well. So yeah, so these have seen chaos in the garage, so they have been laying around not protected at all. So we're gonna make sure to clean them properly. So yes, a little more cleanup this morning. Pom, 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 pom. That's just a tiny bit disgusting. Just a touch, you know. I'm gonna do the entire backside here. As I can see, it is quite dirty. So there is some reference mark we're gonna have to install in there. Well, not reference mark, just like pattern that will allow them to sit in place properly. So that should be quite easy to do. And we're just going to make sure the surfaces are in great condition. The heater feels good this morning. I left it a little bit higher on setting than during the weekend, because I knew I was going to be here this morning, and so the garage feels so much better this morning. Holy crap, it's good. There we go. So we're pretty much done cleaning that. Hell yeah. Now let's use a dry one, just to make sure we're not adding thickness to anything that we're gonna be dry. There we go. Pum, 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 pum. Perfect. So with that done, we can lay that on top. Dual side. There you go. So this is going pretty much just like that. Nice and easy. like this. They say that it is a good idea to maybe just put a few bolts on the other end that we're gonna be working. So around here, we're gonna put 2 or 3 of them, just so we have a bit of an easy standing point there. Just going to hold it in place nicely, so might as well do it. That one's that bolt. Trying to keep everything in place just because I want it to be looking like I want everything to be back to its place. So it's gonna be the 4th one from this end. Just want everything to go back to where it used to be, because the engine was working this way. So logically, if I'm putting that back, it should be good. Fourth one, like so, so that won't allow too much movement. Normally, if I was about to lock that one here, it should prevent most of the movement. So 2 steps further away for a total of 3 bolts. Honestly, again, this is quite a simple kind of engine when you're looking at it, to be fair. Put that one here. This is limiting the movement quite a lot, so that's perfect. Now, I need to find back my tool, because we were about to start something else. So last week, oh, it's there, perfecto. There we go. I'm just going to have to make that happen. And work great. So basically we're gonna throw that here, front cam. There we go. So here, this is a part that you can unscrew, which means we're gonna be able to adjust the pretty much the length of that push rod to a specific spot where it is pretty much the perfect measurement for that. Knowing that by default they are 7.4 inches, I'm gonna go straight ahead and measure 7.4 inches, which I don't know what is that in millimeter. 7.4 inch to centimeter, that's gonna do right 18.8. So I'm gonna be adjusting that straight to that measurement there, just because we know that this is the default value. So at this point, if something's modified enough in that engine to affect the push rod length, well, we're gonna be able to detect that quite easily. So let's adjust that, because that's what also I bought, the 18.8 centimeters, so might as well start there. So it will be around here pretty much. So let's start right there and see what this is doing. So dual side, let me just bring you in here. I want the light. So basically the push rod is going at the bottom here, and that's gonna sit on the lifter right here. So I'm on the intake lifter right now, and I'm gonna be adding the rocker for that here. So that's gonna be the way to pretty much measure that everything is great there. However, before doing that, well, guess what? A little more cleanup to do here. So I'm gonna be cleaning up those trunnion and stuff here, just to make sure we are having everything clean in there. there was a big spot of junk right underneath there. So that's the reason why we're cleaning all that. Holy crap. That was like dirty. So let's go. I will see what's the difference between brand new one of these rocker, or like, I think it's gonna be too much. I think they were around $500 compared to just upgrading the Tronian. But yeah, if the Tronian upgrade is not really cheaper than just changing the rocker, I might just change them. But yeah, I think there was a big difference of price when I last looked. Alright, so here I'm gonna need a little thingy to just brush it a little bit, because it is disgusting. There we go. Almost dropped that to the floor. Thick. What's up, Hawk? Good morning. How you doing, friend? Hope you had a great night. I've been dreaming about sniping someone in the head tonight. That's what I've been dreaming about last night. Not gonna lie. There we go. See, I'm doing, again, more cleanup. I have enough for another sound. Oh shit! No way. Are you gonna be the first to have 2 custom sound in here? Mwahaha. Mwahaha. Do you already know what you want? That's the question, actually. All right, I think we're doing pretty good with that one. Right here. Front cam. So just clean up that little part here. So this is going to be activating our valve. And yeah, we're just going through that. Actually, let me try to show you on the other cam. Dual side. Dual side. What's up, Val? Hey, did you redeem a custom sound? Oh shit, your own personal sound. No way. Oh sheesh, I'm gonna have some job during my lunchtime. All right, guys. Well, write to me. Did you say custom sound? What's up, Val? Oh, big love. Happy to see you this morning. So, guys, Hawk, you know the process. Lady O, think about your sound. Sheesh!
Lady Al Studio is looking for more power for the last 10 months.
Merci beaucoup, Val. Merci. Big love. Big love. What's up? So for the custom sounds, write to me on Discord. You both have me on Discord, so write to me. You can send me a YouTube video or something. Tell me where you want me to cut. Basically, exactly what you want as a sound. There's not really some maximum length, but of course, 1 minute is maybe too much. Something between like 5 and 15 seconds is pretty decent. And also think about the word that you want like to use to trigger your own custom sound. So basically, for Hawk, it's when she wrote "wow." Like no matter, it doesn't matter capital letters or anything, but when she's typing "wow" in chat, it triggers the word. So obviously think about a word and give me your sound via Discord. Thank you. Oh my god, double custom sounds. Let's go. That's gonna be insane. So here I go, putting that in place. If I'm not bid there, we can see that coming together. Can I have an all? Of course you can. I mean, it's up to you, honestly. I can even make it that anywhere in the sentence it will trigger that. But usually I'm putting that only at the beginning, like if you write just that word. But like, there's a guy, Micah, who has the NASCAR sound, so because I have the right to trigger them. There you go.
Why do you want me to break your arm so badly? You don't understand. You don't understand because you don't understand liberty. You don't understand freedom. So you put a crack in my arm like a crack in the liberty bag. You hear me?
There you go. So that's Micah's sound, and there was the wow of Hog just a bit earlier, and like yeah, and you have pretty much the right to use it as many times as you want. So even though if someone's abusing it, I might be putting a cooldown, you know, but never happened so far because people in here are awesome. There we go. So let's keep following the spamming all. No, that's not a right. That's a pigeon. Woohoo! That was better. All right, what's up with that now? Okie dokie. Set the rocker loosely atop of the stand and adjust the push rod length checker so that they are slightly too short to contact the push rod seat. Wait, what? To contact the... Shoot. I need to do that again. All right, I'm gonna read everything first. Okay. Set the rocker loosely atop of the stand and adjust the push rod length checker so that they are slightly too short to contact the push rod seat on the rocker. When the rocker tip are touching the... Okay, when they are touching the valve. They are, and I'm touching at the back, so that's no good. Perfect. Jiggle the checkers to ensure they are squarely positioned in both the pushrod seats and lifter plunger below. Since the lifter plungers are not visible in LS engines that have heads installed, it will be difficult to tell whether any hydraulic lifter preload is occurring. There should be none. This is why so much care is needed when adjusting the push-rod length checker. Also, if you're using a checker valve spring, use extreme care not to compress them once you achieve pushrod length just sufficient to remove all play from the system and no more. Remove and measure the pushrod length checker. The proper pushrod length for your engine is the measurement plus the recommended hydraulic lifter preload provided by the lifter manufacturer, usually in the neighborhood of 0.06 inch for stock GM lifters. We're gonna have to look at this there. At work, hope stream goes great. Love you, brother. I love you, Michael. Let's go. I just played the NASCAR sound a few seconds ago because two people redeem some custom sounds. Hawk for her second one and Lady Old for her first one. So let's go. Love you, Micah. Thank you for coming by. Even though you're working, brother. Have a great day. Hope to see you soon on Discord. All right, let's do that. Here, gonna put that aside. We're gonna make sure we're doing great there. So just making sure that we are sitting into the thing, but that seems to be pretty much exactly where it needs to be. Oh shit, you already picked yours, that's crazy. All right, so let's do that. Okay, set the rocker loosely atop of the stand and adjust the push rod land checker so that they're slightly too short. That's done. When the rocker tip are touching the valves, now bolt, so we are touching the valve, we have free play at the back. Okay, so now I just need to kind of unscrew that at the back, which is not the ideal place to go, I would say. I think I've gained. Let me try something. Is it working when I'm doing that? I'm not sure. I think the entire assembly is rotating. So I just need to go right there. All right, let me read that again. Wow, damn. All right, can't wait to look at this. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be awesome. When the rocker tips are touching the valves, now bolt the rocker down and adjust the push rod length. Okay, so now, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's gonna be hard to do actually, because I don't really have a good access to that. I need to make sure that's going to unscrew and not just pin at the bottom actually, because that's not touching the seat, no. So now I will just be bolting that, which seems to be 10 mil. Let's verify that information. That's way less than 10 mil. My eye's not good this morning. Okay, bye, suck it. 8 mil. 8 mil it is. So there we go. Let me just grab that, grab this. So Val, are you going to look for a specific hole holding? So see, everything's loose right now. The back is not touching anything, so we're good for now. Because like you can have the exact one you want. That's the crazy part. Now I need to try to unscrew that until there is no play. But I feel like I'm not, oh maybe. Oh, I am. I have no play anymore in there. And I seems to be sitting in the right place. Okay. Jiggle the checkers to ensure they have a squarely positioned in both the push rod seat and lifter plungers below. Since the lifter plunger are not visible, okay, this is why so much care is needed when adjusting the push rod length. Also, if you're okay, so I need to make sure I'm not compressing the valve, because yeah, I can see I'm compressing now. Just need to barely unscrew that to that, so I'm not adding any force. Once you have achieved push rod length just sufficient to remove all play from the system and add no more no more. So I don't have any play, but I didn't force, so basically I cannot push up and backward or forward the thing. So far we're really good on that. I can unscrew the rocker and go check for the measurement there. Remove and measure the checker. So I'm going to remove that here. And we're going to be measuring the checker, hoping it is 18.8 or really close to that. There we go. Now making sure I'm not screwing or unscrewing the thing. This is our length. And now let me measure that with the ruler that we had and that I didn't put back to its place. Hey, it's there. So on here, should be close to what we are expecting it to be. We are at 18.6 right now, pretty much. Now we need to add the preload. I googled dumbass old sound, and first thing that pops is that. Wow, nice. I kind of love it. That's one way to do it. So they said this is with the lifters. Do I have a paper in here? I do not. So do I have any information? Delphi LS7. Okay, Brian Tooley, LS7, lifters. Let's try to find the info on the internet. I will send it to you on Messenger. Perfect. And I think I walk on the cable there. There we go. Perfecto, Val. So, Brian Tooley, LS7, Delphi. Delphi LS7 hydraulic roller lifter. Yeah, because I ordered those, but why I don't have, let me check again. Because like, I think I ordered those lifters with the bushing I'm looking for, I'm searching for since this morning. So, LS7. Let's write that. Summit. Oh, maybe not. I ordered those with Summit and not from their website. That's why. Okay. So I'm gonna go check on Summit then, because I'm gonna be probably able to find the exact information I need. Order and status. Going back down. Get a fork out. Ooh, lifters are not cheap. Lifter outside diameter, not what I'm looking for. Do I have the technical specification for those? According to Summit Tech, BTR calls for a 0.100 preload. So a bit above what we are used to. I'm gonna check on the internet. So BTR LS7 lifter preload. All right, third gen lifter preload using LS7 lifters. For something that just needs to run down the road, I will run right around 0.08. That's someone saying absolutely something on a forum. I'm not believing that. Is that 7.4 or 7.8 push rods I have? It's 0.4, it's 0.4. Okie dokie. I'm looking. All right, valve preload. How to watch Brian Tooley racing. That sounds like a trusty place to go look, but I want to find. I want to find the exact thingy. I hate when you don't have the exact like reference or like I have the measurement of the diameter of the lifter, but I don't have the preload there, and that will be super important. All right, I'm gonna try with the product number to see if I have a better luck, because basically you always want to check those, and you always want to make sure you're doing the right thing, because now I have like 3 or 4 numbers that I could use. But which one is good for that? I don't want to be preloading those and eating those lifters, you know. All right, so this and what I had on the site, it was the same thing. Preload. What are they saying in the book? Because I feel like they might just be straightforward stuff, but like push rods are normally sold in length increment of 0.05 inch. So select the length that puts the lifter preload within its acceptable range. So we are looking at 0.06 inch. So to know exactly the proper push rod length for your engine is the measurement of plus the recommended hydraulic lifter preload provided. 0.06 of an inch being the usual things, and I will just check for fun. 0.06 of an inch, how much is it in millimeter? Inch. 1.52 millimeters. And what is the, so that added to this, I'm gonna try to see if I can have a really great measurement, but I think it's just out of the range for that. Here, yep, no, I'm just a bit out of my dial caliper range. So I'm really gonna have to go with the ruler. And so if I'm putting that right here, yeah, I'm even more. I'm actually even more towards the 0.7. Yeah, no, 0.6. 18.6 plus. That will make it 7 something. 18.6 plus. Oh my god, I feel dumb doing that. Actually, it's 186 plus. Wait. Got to jump in the meeting. I'll be back. Sounds good. Have a good meeting. 186 plus 1.524. That's 187.524 with a preload of 0.06, and we were saying that 7.4 inches, 7.4 inch to, I'm gonna put millimeter. All right, we are pretty much half a mil, like not even half. 0.30 something millimeter away, 0.34 millimeter away, I think. Let me check that. I will validate my seeing. 187.96. Yeah, no, 0.43 millimeter away with the push rod we ordered. So we are pretty much bang on what we need. Those being a little bit longer, I think. And I need to check because I know there's a 0.375 push rod. So 7.375 is 187.32. But now I will just add basically a bit more preload. That means 0.1, it's 2.50. That will be way more. Okay, so I think we are good. I think. I'm gonna go check again. As expected from BTR. Good upgrade over stock lifter, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. Okay, so that's good, that's good, that's good. I don't want just the actual info like this. I really want the... Sorry for that, guys. I'm just going to go up on the different BTR preload spec. Okay, after lots of searching, it seems that between 0.06 and 0.1 is the most frequently recommended preload for the LS7 lifters, with 0.08 being the number to shoot for. So 0.08 8 inches to millimeter is 2.0 millimeter, right? So that added to our 186, so let's say 2 millimeter, that's that's 188 millimeter. So 188 millimeter, 2 inches. So 188 millimeter 2 inches will be 7.401. So 7.4 are good. So the push rod we order are good to go in. Let's go. Basically, the small difference will increase or decrease. It will decrease a little bit the lift, but it's still going to be over what we need. Like, what is the minimum? Because the minimum will be 0.06. So 0.06 inch to millimeter is 1.5. So we're gonna be a touch above that, but a touch under, yeah, because 1.5 there, that will mean 7.4 is 187. Yeah, so we're gonna be spot on in the ballpark there, because we are at 188 pretty much, and that's giving 187.9. So that means we're gonna be right above that, just a touch, because 186 plus the preload is pretty much 7.4. Am I doing that right? Yeah, because this is shorter, so we're gonna be compressing that just a touch in place. Yeah, so we got this. It's working. Let's go! So we don't need to order anything else for that, but we're gonna need to upgrade the center bushing there. So that's the part I'm like, shit. Shit. All right, so there we go. Coffee time. Now let's keep going into the book. So this is working perfectly. Everything is right on spot. They seems to be doing that for both intake and exhaust one. I'm not exactly sure why you would. No, they are doing that only for one. Install push rods and rocker arm. Note, steps 32, 34 apply to high performance application only. For stock rebuild, skip to 35. We're gonna do it. Because checker spring are being used in lieu of actual valve spring, use of your new correct length push rod is not possible during the next few steps. The reason for this is that correct tension checker spring is not provide enough force to compress the hydraulic lifter plunger, so your new push rod would actually cause the valve to hang open slightly. For this reason, use your push rod length checker set to the correct length minus the hydraulic lifter preload. If you find that your checker spring are strong enough to compress the lifter plunger, consider installing a set of solid lifters. I don't think that's going to be the case, which you will leave in from now through step 34. Before installing anything onto your head, spin the crankshaft over several times to allow the lifter to realign themselves on the lobe, the cam lobes. I know I'm okay with that. Remember, you should not have lifters guide to install, and the lifters may have rotated during push rod length measurement. This is okay with the lifters. Okay, yeah, because since we spin that, it might be actually offsetted. So this is okay with the lifter on the base guide circle of the lobe, but it will be not be okay. This is okay with the lifters on the base. Okay. Then install the push rod length checker and rocker arm for cylinder 1. Ensure the rocker stand does not twist on the head while doing this. If you are using aftermarket adjustable rocker arms, you will need to set the lash. So we won't have to do that, but we have to do the other things there. So I'm gonna be basically pushing that, turning the crank a few times. Whee! Woo! So now I should be at the bottom, and now moving that up. Pass that up to here, about there. So that should be good. Now I'm gonna do that on the intake valve only, just because I don't have to push rod, but we're gonna go step by step and do that again for the exhaust side if needed. So we're gonna put that in here, set to the correct length, so we should be good right there. We're gonna be reinstalling that. There we go. We were not properly seated. Basically we screw that on top there. So now we're gonna be able to activate pretty much the valve. There we go, just slightly turn in place. So we are pretty much right there. We don't have any play. We're pretty good. Then install the push rod lamp checker on the rocker arm for silent one. If you're using, okay, I don't have to do that. Perfect. Slowly turn the crank over and watch the movement of the rocker arm. If any resistance to movement is felt, stop. The valve may be contacting with piston. If this is the case, you definitely do not have the adequate piston to valve clearance. See step 34 to address this problem. The main area to check is interference between the underside of the rocker and the valve spring retainer pin pointing. Was that? Oh, okay. I see that pen pointing, yeah. Okay, so we're looking if the valve here is contacting with the rocker, which should not be the case because everything is pretty much stuck, but we're gonna be checking that. So let me bring you a little bit further down. And the camera is broken actually. So for a while you didn't have anything I was doing in there. I just realized that, hey, pro streamer. At least the picture was beautiful. There you go. Hey, a part just appeared. Whoa. What is this sorcery? So what we're gonna do is activate basically that to activate the valve, making sure that we're not feeling any resistance with the piston, like the valve contacting the piston or anything. Shouldn't be the case, but since we have changed the actual pistons in there, it could happen. However, the design of those pistons is the same as the LQ4, plus there is even a cutout, a fly cut for the valve to get in there. The only thing that could make that happen is that basically we are opening by 0.02 of an inch more the valves, so this is like quite a big change, but technically everything's supposed to fit. That's why we are pretty much making sure that everything's fitting. Okay, let's keep going. Fitment problem here are most likely if using valve spring with wider than stock retainers. Not the case. The tip should be contacting the center of the valve stem during the mid-lift period. If using aftermarket rockers, some additional check can be performed at this time. Some of which will need to be done on more than one cylinder. For example, you can expect for interference and stuff. Between the rockers, valve covers or valve cover, minor massaging of the valve cover rail may be needed. Won't be the case here because we're all stuck in there. Any click the rocker are contacting the underside of the valve cover. We can still check it pretty easily. So we should be pretty straightforward here, to be fair. So let's turn that engine and see if anything is happening. So you will see that. Woo! Do you see this? We are activating the valve. So slowly, we should be contacting there. Yes, we are. So basically here, I just saw that my seat is touching the valve stem there. So that's perfect, that's what we want. I don't feel any interference. Let's do that all over again. Perfect, so we don't have any problem right here. We are in the perfect position there. So let's move it back. Right here, this is where we're doing most of our things. So that is checked. let's go on the other side and make the same process for the exhaust, because this is important to do right now, just because exhaust valve and the exhaust and the intake valves have two different duration, lift, and stuff like that. So basically, we're gonna make sure that it is also really good on the other side there. And just like this one here, we're gonna also make sure that we have everything in place. So I just need to make sure I'm not dropping that in the wrong place. There we go. This is seated properly. Now, oh, I'm not going to use that one actually, just because when you think of it, this is normally, I think they are all the same, but I'm gonna be cleaning up the exhaust one. I have them all in the right position, so might as well use that. So let me grab that, grab this. By the way, guys, that's the actual last step before getting to piston ring. After that, we're pretty much done. Like I said, there's gonna be plenty of cleanup after that. We still have parts like all the rockers and stuff we haven't cleaned up yet, because I was waiting to get close to the final assembly to do those. So right now I'm just cleaning the bare minimum, which is the one we need now. But after that, we're gonna be moving on. I need to check one thing. So okay, yeah, they are all the same. So basically, we're gonna be cleaning all those parts, and we have to upgrade the trunnion inside the rocker here, but that's not changing anything. It's just like the material of the pivot point. It's not changing the actual pivot point, so we should be all good. Front cam. That's why I'm cleaning them. They are disgusting. There is schmutz everywhere in there, so we're gonna be making sure that we are getting that cleaned up. Gonna be changing paper towel because that one is pretty much gone. Gonna be also using the brush because it worked pretty well earlier. So super important to make those clean, even though actually there's not a lot of things contacting with each other. We see pretty much the contact surface right there, and this is pretty much it, like there and at the back there. Otherwise it's just a pivot point, but we kind of want to make sure that everything is still super clean, making sure that we are not running into problems later on just because we didn't clean that enough. Dirt inside the engine is not really something you want. I'm telling you that. At least not on my side. But let's grab the small one. There we go. Getting all the schmutz out of the way. So that means I'm gonna be able to order also the radiator soon. We're gonna have a bunch of things to do, I think, before fitting the engine inside the car. Today or tomorrow I should be receiving everything like coilovers, big brake kit and stuff like that. So I think next week we're gonna have something pretty amazing to do right after we finish the final assembly of the engine, because we want to close that engine like now that we are we dived into it. Even if we're not setting it inside the car right after we are finished, we want to close everything to make sure there's no dust getting inside. And then after that, once we're gonna be done, I think it's gonna be about cleaning everything here and like all the tables and stuff, bringing the Datsun forward, putting it on the hoist, and removing all the back suspension things over there so that we can install the actual rest of the kit, because we were waiting on coilovers to make that work, because it says that we are required to run coilovers with that kit at the back. And once we are, yes, it is messy. Okay, I know. I know it is messy. This is how I work. I get super messy the more I'm working on the project. Like right now, the project is the engine. Once I'm gonna be done, I'm gonna spend like an entire morning cleaning everything up again. So this is how I am working. I know it's not the greatest. Some people are actually cleaning up every night. I cannot. Like I have tools a bit everywhere, but most of the time I know where my tools are and everything. So I need that to be like this. Otherwise, I'm going crazy, to be fair. I feel, not that I'm going crazy, I love when it's clean. I just hate cleaning up every damn night because I feel like it's a waste of time. Just because I know the next morning I'm gonna be pulling out like all my tools again everywhere, so that's why. But otherwise, yeah, we're gonna do that. Then it's gonna be differential rebuild, so we're tackling down the differential rebuild after that. And when the differential is gonna be done, we're gonna be moving to actually installing the engine, clutch, and everything. There we go, dual side. Another one. So now we're going to set that one here, making sure we seems to have the same push rod thingy. Why do I have resistance in here? That's not normal. Let's get that back, make sure the threads are great. I shouldn't be feeling any resistance. I think I have something in there. I hope it's not in the actual engine. My workshop is like my stash, right, Hawk? Even though I did some cleanup in it, actually. Alright, there was a bit of a metal chunk in there. Just going to make sure we're good. Yeah, that was maximum depth. Hey, my stash is better. With that Bitcoin I had this morning, you know what? I bought my second weapon case, so now I have space. It's not all gun and gun parts laying around. Well, there's still some, but it's not only that, you know? Progression. Small, but still counts. All right, something might feel a little bit wrong on that one. We'll see. Okay, no. We got back to where we are supposed to be. All right, fully threaded. Perfect. Sitting in place. Perfect. No loose. Perfect. Time to spin it. Right there, we should be rolling in the right direction. Let me check. I think we're having a bit of a problem there. Sorry for that. I hit the cam. Yeah, my roller seems to be aligned. Yes, it is. Okay. So let me go push that up. Something's wrong. Yep, we're not doing the right thing right now. Something's wrong in there. I can feel it. I feel like my push rod is not in the right place. That or it did open the plunger. So I'm gonna be spinning the engine again because I need to make sure it's not opening up my lifter. So I'm gonna be setting myself right before it starts opening up. Right here. Sorry for that, I'm still hitting the cam quite a lot. There. And now let's throw that in place again. So that feel right. That does feel right too. So let's see. Bit of loose. Yeah. Just trying to make sure we don't have any loose. So this one is like if I was. That seems to be quite right. Let's try to spin that and see if it's opening. All right, no, so what's going on here is that I'm probably opening up, yep, my plunger there. So that means my spring is kind of too intense for that, and that's no bueno. I don't know if there's different spring rate there or not, so because it was a kit, so I'm gonna check and see if we can modify that. Because yeah, we can see I have marks, so I basically open the lifter and not, because lifters can be open basically, so that's why you need to make sure you're technically not doing that. All right, I will need my full skill here. So that, let's bring that even further back. Just dropping that piston number 1 even more. So I can actually open that like this and open that like that. Like so. And open that one the same way. Or maybe I need to use the actual piston to lock it in place. There we go. Because my valve is contacting the piston now. So I can basically use that to lock that, remove the locks. And Yeah, there's maybe more tension in that second one, so I'm gonna be putting that one here, that there, and try to install these without dropping anything in the engine, ideally. These and this. There we go. Now, I hope the fact that it did open is not too bad, because basically that could also mean we have now less resistance into the lifter for now until it is pretty much under pressure, oil pressure on the startup. So, you know, not really what we want to wait for. So let me just put that back to our 18.6. So from there, I'm gonna put it back in place. There you go. Drop that again on it, and hopefully this time it will work. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to guess, but like, honestly, I'm already pretty sure that we are doing a great job on that. So here I'm still on the actual, the way I know also that we open it up is that they are pre-filled with oil, and I could see the different type of oil going down on the cam. So I have a view from there, from the lifter, and like the lifter was going up, but the valve was not getting activated, which usually means something's opening up and it's not the valve. Now, can we make that work? Let's go. Yeah. So probably different valve tension. So there we go. This is working great. So here we are touching that. Clearance good. Everything is way good. Like everything is straight to its place. So I'm gonna make one more turn just because I want to be close to my top dead center there. Somewhere around here. There you go. And I'm gonna move a little bit back. So I'm sitting right there. Perfect. So just like so. If this is not an option, okay, so we are pretty much done. And it's gonna be ring stuff. So we can basically disassemble all of that now. Let's go! Progression! So that one can come with me, that one too. There's already a big difference between the one I cleaned and the one I didn't, which is cool. There we go. There we go. Hey, you realize what, guys? We are getting to that freaking last big step. I don't know if there's a way to make that fit. Probably not. There we go. There. Coffee time. Yep, coffee time for real. We need to remove these. Where's my top dead center there? Oh, there we go. It is around here. So I'm gonna put back in their bag the different parts, because for now we're not going to use them pretty much. We're going to be using them later on, so it's not really something we are looking for right now. We're gonna be cleaning all these even though they are brand new. Oh yeah, I need to keep that, because otherwise they're going to fall straight into the piston. Actually, I'm even going to do that. There you go. So from now on, I can remove that. I know that my tool did work. We did the good verification. Our length is good. Can remove that. We're gonna be spot on into the measurement we need. So that's gonna be awesome. Also, what else? From here, we can remove basically the full cylinder head. One thing good to know is not for a head like this, but sometimes you have to also disconnect those in a specific order. So you have to be aware that there's a lot of tension in there. So the head, like I said, not really, but camshaft and stuff like that for my BMW M3, for example, the cam, you need to really release them in a specific way, otherwise you can snap the camshaft right on spot there, which is not really great, to be fair. So yeah, otherwise we're pretty much ready to go with that. So we're gonna be removing all the bolts. One thing I wanted to do is take my torque wrench around here and take a look at how tight these are, because we did like 22 feet-pounds for the big bolts plus 180 degrees of torque. So basically I kind of want to know just how tight this is, like the entire assembly there, how intense it is. So we're gonna go ahead and just remove one at the middle here, but like with this here set to, I'm gonna start it at 75, because it should be higher. So the idea is to find out, what is the strength on them. Less than 75 maybe. There's no way. 50 should click. Less than 50? I have a doubt. Are you clicking backward? Let's try with no strength at all, just to see if it's clicking. That thing's not clicking backward, that's why. Let me try with another one. The smaller one. Let me do that, that here. That's why, because I'm really curious to know how strong that is. So we already started those. Yeah, that one's clicking, perfect, and it goes up to 100. So let's go at around 50. It can actually remove it, which is quite intense. I thought it was way higher than that. 40? 40 it can also. Maybe it's just not as precise going reverse. 30. 30, 35, 40. Holy shit. 40, it's removing actually. It's not that bad. 38. 38 will be the call, I think. All right, so now we know 38 feet-pounds, which is really nothing. That's crazy. I thought that would be like 100 or something. Holy crap. Oh well, the more you know. So it seems bad, but actually it's like less than a bolt for a wheel, so really not that bad. Cool, let's go with that. Now let's actually crack these loose. So 1, 2, already done. I was already started. So if you want to see a little bit better, let me put you higher actually. Bump, bump. I think the view's gonna be better like this. If I'm not hitting that cam, there we go. Plus we're gonna need that. So I'm loosening everything up first. There we go. There we go. And then I'm gonna grab that. Remove all the bolts. I'm gonna grab a new back because that one is dirty as fuck. I don't know if I really have a better one. That one seems better. I'm just going to put a few towels at the bottom, but for now, let's just remove the Schmitz. That has been laying into WD-40, so that's gonna be not too bad. There we go. Now let's put a bit of towel in there. I'm gonna grab the super long kind of microfiber one. I had them here, did I bring them back? Because they were right there. Oh, they fell to the ground, that's why. So the bronze bushing are pretty much the last thing I need to order, I think, for the engine. Push rods were good, shims, bronze bushing, and we should be pretty much up there. Let's grab these. That, like I said, I'm gonna check if it's worth investing in brand new rockers, OEM style rockers, or go straight for just the upgrade. I feel like the upgrade's gonna be way cheaper, but yeah, we shall see. That was almost awful. Let's not keep that in our hand. Let's just focus on one thing. So as I said, we're gonna be removing everything eventually, but first of all, we're gonna do the piston ring. Once the piston ring are going to be done, we're gonna be disassembling the entire engine, and we're gonna be starting again from scratch, but now for the final assembly. So with proper goo and stuff, and like assembly lube and everything, so that it can stays like this for quite a while. The assembly lube is just a better way of doing that. Like instead of using engine oil that's gonna drip down and basically get dry at some point on the surface, assembly lube is a bit more sticky, so it stays in place until you are ready to start the engine, which is gonna be in a few months. So that's a really good thing to do and to use. There we go. We have battery cable to do eventually. We have a bunch of little things here and there. I think I thought about something last night, but I can't remember what. There's one thing I'm forgetting to do on the car that I was like, oh yeah, I need to do that, and like I can't remember what. There we go. Oh, and I need to look, I don't think I have it yet, the sting kit for the upper part of the engine, where basically you can have some, if I'm showing it to you, from OEM on this engine, you just have something connecting that head to the other side, the other head, but you can have, and there was some blocking part at the end here, but basically you can have a kit that will connect the four corners of your head with some cooling in it. So we're gonna do that for sure on this. This is a really good sporting mud to just prevent any bad things happening, basically. So that's done, that's there. Here we have a bunch of things on the tray. I'm gonna put the tray away because we don't want that just yet. There we go. And I'm gonna bring the driver's side head on this side there. So I just need to remove it slowly, making sure not to damage the head gasket. There. Head gasket, I'm gonna be able to remove it, put it back into its thing. So as you can see, we haven't damaged it. Everything's looking great. So now we're gonna put that aside until we actually need it. There we go. Back on the bench. So we're all good here. Dowel pin, we're gonna be removing those. Oh, dowel pins, that's what I need also. I'm gonna make a list because I'm forgetting stuff now. Dowel pin. And then I said bronze trunnion kit, and then For now, that's it. I don't think I'm missing anything, so that's good. So as you can see here, everything's in great shape. We haven't touched anywhere. Piston, everything. We had the clearance. We are at top dead center pretty much right now. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna be removing that bolt also, just because we don't need it for now. Gonna be removing also the lifters from there. We're gonna be able to start moving towards the end assembly there. So lifters, can grab that. So yeah, you see the oil is different. That's because we were pretty much pushing that inside. This is something that is prevented by the oil pressure actually when you're driving your car. So the oil pressure is gonna keep that open, but it's also helping to adjust tension by itself in there. So that's really, really super, super important. There we go, and second one. Here, ooh, that's gonna be a hard one to get. Yep, that's not a fun one to get. I'm gonna do that, hey hey. I'm almost there. I can push it with my finger from here. I just need to get out. If I can make that happen. There you go. There you go. Perfect. So here we're gonna have to make sure we're not damaging that. Whoop. So we're gonna need to clean them up a little bit before putting them back, but they are in really, really good shape. Perfect. There we go. So here, lifters are back in place. That's good. Let's just grease our hand a little bit there. Spring, we don't have to do anything with those. Double pin we need to remove, and then we're gonna be able to just go ahead with that and start doing our piston ring. Piston ring, we're just pushing the piston down there, and we're gonna be measuring cylinder per cylinder until we are pretty much done, because basically we want to gap the ring based on each cylinder. So we're gonna do a set for cylinder 1, 3, 5, 7, move to the other side and do pretty much a set for each, because we want to make sure that everything is gapped. Also, since this engine is not even a brand new engine but like a used engine, what you need to think of is like the wear on those cylinders can have deformed them slightly. So if we're measuring a gap here, it doesn't mean that putting the ring here to here will be the same thing. So we really, really need to make sure we are all Gucci with that. So yep, that's pretty much that. So next step, I said removing those dowel pin, and then after that we're gonna be moving to cleaning the table and setting ourselves up for this afternoon stream on the gap. I'm gonna put that with this. I'm gonna put that with this. There we go. The opens out. We have a bunch of seal and stuff to change also, mostly in the covers. Like all of this here can have oil in it, but gaskets and other stuff, we have a kit of gaskets that's gonna change pretty much everything that we don't already bought an upgrade for. So things that we don't need upgrades, like the seal on top here and stuff like that, we're having all of these brand new. So it should help for getting an engine that's not puking oil everywhere when we will start doing that. So let me put those bolts away for now. As I said, we won't need them for a while. Then the book can get off for now. I'm gonna do a box of things we're gonna be doing later on, adding to the car later on. That here important. So for the shims, I made a decision last night. I'm gonna be going with a kit of shims. They are $50 for all of them, and basically what's going to happen with that is that it's gonna be a pretty simple kit that has exactly what we need to be within the tolerances. So instead of buying a really different one, we're gonna have a bunch of similar one. I don't know where that bolts belong, but that's no good if it's in there. Yeah, so basically the shims, we're gonna go with a set of pre-made one. They are basically 0.015, 0.03, 0.06, and since we need for most of them a difference of 0.09, we're gonna be adding 0.06 and 0.03 for all of them. There's only one that is 0.1 instead of 0.09 away, but that's still within the 0.02 tolerance between spring height. So we should be within tolerances absolutely everywhere, which is cool. But I mean, if I was really going crazy on that, I could buy some different like shim kit or just individual shims to make that 0.1 even better. But I don't think I'm gonna go there, just because it's not really the idea. If it's in the tolerances, I don't need to go and wait like 3 weeks for one little shim to arrive. All right, that. Getting up there. So this, I don't need that for now. Whew, the workbench there is getting a mess. It's getting messy too. That, we're gonna put that in here. So yeah, I think that was different spring pressure. Yep. It's not mentioned anywhere though, but we had the difference, so I mean, GG. That box, we don't need that for now. Let's throw that to the ground. That here, that. Because we're gonna be pretty much just grinding stuff from now on, which is going to be weird to do, to be fair. This here, that's one of the spring from the kit. So far I can't complain, it's going really well. Just a little something I forgot on my side, but otherwise we're pretty much up there. So that's really cool. So that, see, oh yeah, I need to remove that and the stem valve seals. There you go. As I told someone, pretty much anyone could do that. Just taking the time to read the book and do this step by step, but otherwise anybody can do that. It's not even really difficult. got that. Let me grab the seats, the spring seat here. Put that back in here. And putting the elastic back on there. There we go, slight tension there. Let's put that back in the spring kit. With everything in there, so we're gonna be good to move forward. Like so. That's what we need for this afternoon. Yeah, that spring's definitely a bit softer than the other ones. There we go. Pump, 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 pump. Something else, we can pretty much get that out of the way too. We're not cleaning anything for now. All of these can go. All of these can go too. Engine cleaning is gonna be later on. That can be dropping there. In here. Pump, pump, pump. That we shouldn't be using that at all. That was the lock for the old stuff. I'm gonna put that on the side. Oh, I'm missing one valve stem here. Filler gauge, that we're gonna put that away right now, just so we are not forgetting to put that in its bag. So good cleanup session now. So after that, it's gonna be a part of the learning process on how to gap some rings, but basically it should be kind of straightforward, I should say. Like, we're gonna be putting that in here, testing the gap. Once we have the gap set up, we take a look on how many spin on the wheel it takes to remove 0.001 or 0.002, something like that. Then we're gonna be measuring, and we get as close as possible to some measurement that we're gonna find on the internet probably. I think there was actually something in the book telling us how to know what gap we want. The only thing being, I feel like that's the shim for that. We won't need those, but let's put that there. But yeah, basically I think the only thing is going to be basically what is the gap, but the boost is not considered, I think, in that. So that's where I'm not sure what we're gonna be doing for those. So far so good. Let's make a bit of place here actually to put the second head in place. And after that we're gonna be moving everything to that side. All right, you wanna go away for now. I'm gonna put you back in there once that head is set up there. There we go. Now you're going back with the others. Bam. Cool. Let's change those. Plastic gauge stuff. We've got to release that air. Here we go. Goodbye. To the air nozzle. There you go. Starting fresh. Seahawk, it's not that messy now. Duh. obviously. I threw the blue towels at the back there yesterday. Hup. There. So of course I'm gonna be missing like one sheet, yep. That's just normal phenomena. There we go. I'm gonna go grab another one, put that in the boxes to burn. And let's grab a new roll of towel that I have up here, trying not to destroy everything on the way. There you go. Put that over there. Front cam. There you go. Boom. Oh, that looks already so much better with the heads and the table that is clean. Not all so messy as this morning was. I'm gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna put that one on top here just to cover a little bit more. There we go. So with that done, we should be ready to tackle down most of our afternoon. So what are we going to need this afternoon? We're gonna need this, the Total Seal ring thingy here. So pretty much what that does is super simple. It just allows us to push dual side. There we go. So you see how it's done here? It just allows us to push the ring in there to a certain depth, and just making sure that it's all even from the border here, from the head to the cylinder itself. So we're gonna be pushing, just making sure that we're not tilting the ring anywhere. You're not obliged to have one of these to do that thing, by the way. Most of the engine builder, if they are not using that, they just go ahead and use a piston upside down to push that inside. But that's like a really good way to do, because the depth and everything is gonna be just perfect. And second tool we're gonna need is this big thing there. Big, not that big. We're gonna be assembling that. Woohoo, I almost died. So basically here, this is the tool to gap the actual ring itself. So let me open that up. And that's where it's gonna be weird, because that's gonna be the first time I'm doing something like that. So it's marked as OK check. That's cool. Let's remove that from the surface there. So it did pass the quality check. Well done. Good little tool here. And I don't know if I have any, because basically I know it's gonna be something like this or that. I'm not exactly sure on which side it's gonna be, but we have to check for that. And I'm gonna have to open that up here, because basically we are putting a disc in there, which is this thing here. And this is going to be up here, so we are pretty much pushing our piston ring against that so that it's getting close to the disc. So the disc is gonna be on top here. We're pushing our piston rings against that with the same amount of force if you want, and we're just spinning the wheel by hand here. Some people connect a drill to that. I'm not used enough to do that there. Okay, and there is an Allen screw there. That's why I'm not able to do that. Also, there's that here. I don't remember at all what it is supposed to be for. So I have no clue. It seems like it might be for that here. No clues at all. Oh, let me guess. Yeah. Yep. Pretty much that, eh? That's just to have a placed clamp. So that's gonna be probably something we're gonna use actually, to just clamp it pretty much in place and make sure we are not having any issues and any big movement in there. So let me just try to actually set that up. We're gonna be assembling. Hey yo, quoi tu vas vouloir au Tim? Petit matin saucisse, puis infusé à foie. Original. Original, ma commande, je parle. L'infusé à foie, je le veux Belize. Hey. Alright, so is that you? No, it's not. So you, yes it is. So 17, and all my other keys are gone. 3/4 too big. Même pas un wrap, who are you? Non, pas matin, faire différent un peu quand même. Quand même. C'est ça, j'ai pas le droit de faire différent un peu? Tu me juges, c'est ça? Alright, and now you are probably a 10 mil. Yes, you are. There we go. With that done, and Allen key are here, so we're gonna bring that one too. Let's get there. Wow, tellement rude, ma girlfriend. Wow. C'est drôle, il y avait full de monde un matin, puis c'est tombé full calme soudainement. Mais je suis content parce que ça avance full. Alright, almost there. There we go. Let's put that disc in. Alright, and now let's do this, that. I'm just going to need to lock it, and for that I'm going to need to release that. So who are you? You are this one. Je travaille en ce moment. Je suis enseignant en plus. 2 jobs. C'est ça, tu vas dire que streamer, c'est pas un vrai métier? Wow. Wow. En tout cas, I think it's that one here that we're looking for, because there's something in there telling me that this is where this is going. Wow. Je te pensais pas de même, tellement fermé d'esprit. Fleurette boomer, clairement. Alright, so this is how we are supposed to use it, I guess. Whee! So we are getting there. There you go. So we're just gonna need to pretty much use that somehow to clamp it. Boop. And it's not straight, so we might have to bend it in the bench first, but there we go. And now let me just finish torquing that down. There we go. So we have our things done. So there we go. We're gonna be going and just bending that. I don't know if I'm gonna be using that this way. Well, I cannot because of that. Yikes. I would love that to be something a bit different, to be fair. Can I? Because I understand that this is like probably the best way. Because you're not going too fast or anything, but I feel like I will not be able to use that actually, which sucks a little bit. Dans mon temps, les jeunes avaient un vrai travail. Ils allaient à la mine après avoir marché 10 km pour aller à l'école. Nice. Oui, oui, grand-maman, va te coucher là. Oh, let me just put that a little bit straighter. Better, not perfect. Much better, still not perfect. Maybe too much. Oh, perfect. Now I can basically climb that and it's not having any play. Nice. So are we going to do that maybe like this on the corner of a table? Might be the best actually. We might be, because if you're looking at this here, if I'm not destroying the cam, basically here I could use like a plier to clamp it, do that and push my thing there. So we might be tilting that or swinging the table for this afternoon stream. We'll see. But there we go. So we have our tool to basically do the piston ring gap. What time is it now? 11:47, I think, is it? If so, I think I'm gonna call it there for now. Yes, it is. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna call it there for this morning. And also, I was not like there at 10, so this is a miracle. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. And basically, I'm gonna be back this afternoon, and we're gonna start doing our piston ring. Now, are we going to finish that in one afternoon? I'm hoping so, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be possible or not. Front cam. So, on this, guys, I'll see you in about 2 hours, and I'll be back for some, well, I will say some engine action for the absolute last step of the engine pre-assembly procedure. So, see you guys, I love you all, and see you later. Bye!